Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching episode 22 of my Mystery Monthly Minis. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to episode 22 of my Mystery Monthly Minis. If you've seen this before and you know how it works, then you can just skip straight forward to the tasting. Otherwise, the way this works is I have over 150 samples in my sample collection, and my wife has kindly picked one and poured it into this blue Glencairn glass. I'll nose it, I'll taste it, I'll tell you if I like it, and I'll have a stab at what I think it is. Should we find out what I'm drinking? On to the whiskey. If you'd like to play along with me and find out what's in my glass when I do, then just keep watching. Otherwise, take a look in the description now for a sneak peek. Let's start with the nose. Okay, so this is instantly reminded me of a Campbelltown, like a Glen Scotia or a Springbank. There's like a diesel note, which is slowly disappearing. I'm getting like red apples now. There's a hint of malted barley. That sort of dirty diesel note is still there in the background actually. Seems quite sweet. Really struggling to get much more though. There's an almost sort of linseed oil note. Almost like a sort of natural chemical smell. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so there's definitely a chemical tang to this. Reminds me, that linseed oil note that I picked up on the nose is sort of turning into proper sort of window putty. It's quite cereal forward. It's quite sweet but sugary. I'd say it's probably 46 to 50% ABV, and it does have that sort of Campbelltown vibe. Doesn't really. I wouldn't say it's peated, but there is a hint of sort of smokiness in there. I can't really nail it. It isn't like it's like wood smoke, but it's very, very faint. Really is interesting. Let's have another sip. Yeah, it's tamed it a little bit on my palate with the second sip. Much fruitier. Getting red apples. I'm getting pears. Maybe even a hint of pear drops. It's slightly artificial, slightly chemical. There is an overwhelming chemical tang, but it's more like a waxy sort of chemical note. So I'd say it's more natural in terms of its composition rather than artificial, that sort of flavour I'm picking up. But it is interesting. The red fruits are starting to come through now, so those red apples are turning into red fruits. So I think this has probably been in a red wine maybe, but it's not overly dry. I definitely think this is a Scotch. Probably something from a distillery I haven't had much of, but that sort of Campbelltown vibe has really come down now. So I think however this is made and whatever it's been aged in, yeah, it started to become more like a normal Scotch whisky than something from Campbelltown. Still think it's probably 46%, maybe more than nearer 50. And yeah, hopefully it's been aged in maybe a red wine. Yeah. Should we find out what I'm drinking? Right, so it's a North Star Glenrothes 11-year-old. It's 51.4% and it was sent to me by Paul Gibbs. So thanks, Paul. You always send me some belters. Well, obviously it is in the Campbelltown, it's Glenrothes. I don't have much experience with Glenrothes, but this is really interesting, really nice, and it's quite good sometimes that a whiskey has vibes of other distilleries, especially when you're tasting them blind, because it really does sort of put you on your toes and make you think that there's, well, similarities between distilleries even though they're quite far apart. Obviously North Star is an independent bottler and I'm guessing that this is probably not available anymore. If it is finished in anything or even fully matured in something other than bourbon, I'll put it on screen now. And well, if it is available, I'll also put a link in the description, but my guess is it probably isn't available anymore. So thanks, Paul, for a really interesting dram as always. And if you like what you see, hopefully you'll hit that subscribe and come back next week. Stauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment? And please consider subscribing for more videos like this.